Okay, I think I'm live. Okay, if you could let me know if you can hear me, because I just realized I wasn't connected to my headset, but I just connected now, so hopefully that is fixed. I hear you. Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. It's been it really, it doesn't feel like it's been a month, even though it's been a month since I've done this. So I'm like, I truly forgot how to do this. I wanted to come on a little bit earlier, but I could not remember how to go live because it feels like it's been that long. Um, but I figured it out. Took, and I also was writing up my script because I have a lot to unpack in, a short amount of time because I don't want to be on here for too long. But yeah, I will just wait a few minutes to say hi to everyone. Hello, hello. Surprisingly, it has, like I said, only been 4 weeks because I try to do this live every first Wednesday of the month. If you're not um, aware or familiar, this is Top in Fiction. Um, and I try to go live the first Wednesday of the month. I do a monthly recap, and then I give you some news and updates on what's happening over on Top in Fiction. Then I wait for the video to be ready, and then I shoot out the email with this live, as well as listing all of the featured stories for you, listing what's new, all that jazz. So, alongside the weekly emails that come out, there are also the monthly recap. And the monthly recap is a combination of stories that were already featured in the weekly from the last 4 weeks. And I also include 10 stories that were not featured in the last month, but were written in the last month. So it's a lot, but I do this every month. So we will get started here in about another minute or so. I think I usually will like post a quick link for people to know that we are live. So let me see if I can figure out and remember how to do that. It literally feels like it's been so long since I've done this. Okay, let me see if I can pull up the video. Okay, I have pulled up my video for myself. Let me get the link, copy, and what? No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. Um, Recap number 9. Okay. Paste that and post. Interesting how I'm like on the top banner. That's new, I think. Okay. Let me get my notes back up. Okay. All right. So traditionally, the way we start these is I will read off the feature stories and then I will go into what the news of the day is. So I just want to do that first. Don't want to break with tradition. Let me just move this window so that I can see them perfectly clearly. Okay, here we go. So again, just a reminder, these stories will have a medallion that they can collect. They're already in the folder. I made sure to be ahead of the game this time. The email's already ready to go. The medallions are already created and properly labeled, and they're already in the folder. So um, if you want to see if you're featured and go check the folder, you can, or you could just wait until you hear your name and your story so you know that you're featured and you know you have a medallion that's there and ready for you. And again, just a reminder that because it's a lot of work for me to do this every week, medallions are only now given to the stories that are featured in the monthly recaps, and they're no longer done weekly as of 2025. So, but you should know that by now we're already in month 10, so that shouldn't be a surprise. But if you are featured in the monthly recap, you have a medallion, it's in the folder. The link to that folder will be in the email that goes out later today. So, without further ado, here is the monthly recap number 9 for stories written between the dates of August 30th to September 26th. Poetry. Dispute with Melody, written by Nick Hoffman of Across the Spheres. Micro/flash fiction. The Mask of the Pale Jester, written by the chronicler of Work in Progress. Catherine is Not Eating, written by Liz Horseman of Marsh Witches of the Godless Florin. The Ministry of Otherworldly Compliance, written by Sheridan Cass of Once Upon a Draft. Helper's Cake, written by E.B. Howard of The Story Scrapbook. A Vampire Calls, written by Fran B. of Tales at Twilight. Short story. Tommy and Florence, The MacGuffin Caper, written by Bridget Riley of Naptime Novelist. The Wendigos Out Tonight, written by Peter Smetanek of Peter's Scribbles. The Birthday Party, written by Larry Shell of Larry Shell. Pray for Her, written by Jared Michael of Haints, Hollers, and Heresy. The Dream Protocol, written by Tom Kewen of the Posthuman Curator, of the Posthuman Curator, sorry. Rêve de la Fleur Noire, written by Will Christopher Bayer of The Velvet. Better You, written by Gary Mucklow of GS Mucklow Substack. The Orchard, written by Javier Mixco of Like Tears in Rain. Please Hold, written by Tiara Ito of First Draft, The Writing Archives of Tiara Ito. The Wind in the Willow, written by Oscar Ruto Camilil of Oscar Ruto. The Monster of Marrowby, written by Elizabeth Grace Foley of The Second Sentence. And Hatherfen Moore, written by The Verdant Butterfly of The Sable Butterfly. Okay, so that is 18 featured stories this month. And again, you will find your medallion if you were featured here in the folder for September. If you're looking for the link and you don't want to wait until I send the email later, you can find that link in last month's um, monthly recap. So if you go to monthly recap for number 9 for August, which you will find on the website topinfiction.com, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see there's a link to access and to get your medallion. You just click on that link. It should take you to all the folders for this year. Just go to the September folder and you will find your medallion there. Or like I said, you can just wait until I send this email. Which will be within the next hour or two. I just have to wait for um, the MP4 to download. So now onto the announcements. I have many announcements. I do them here. I write them. I regurgitate them all again in literally every um, weekly email, and I will have it again in the monthly recap. But this is a great way if you don't want to have to read the long thing that I write about what's coming up. This is a way for you to hear me tell you and kind of try to explain it to you if it's a bit complicated or confusing. So, the first thing I want to bring up is inanimate objects. This is the like you could say the final countdown. There are 15 days left until the submissions close to enter and either participate or enter the contest for inanimate objects. So there are two paths to this. And the reason why we do it this way is because we do intend on having an anthology which will feature some of the participants. So the reason why we do it two separate ways is you may want to just participate in the event, but you don't necessarily want to enter the contest. So you can decide which you want to do. You can enter the contest or you can simply participate in the event. Either path you take, you have to submit. You have to fill out the form and submit your story. Now, the way it works is if you enter the contest, there is what's known as a secret URL, and how you find that URL is provided to you in a step-by-step process and a screenshot in the form when you click the link to go to the form. Okay, so I'm not going to go into how you find that here. Go to the form. You'll see the step-by-step process. And the reason why we do it that way is so that that's how we get what your story is. That's how you submit your story, is by giving us access to the secret URL to copy and paste it so the judges can read it. Then there's you can just participate in the event, meaning you don't want us to read your story ahead of time. You just want your story to go live on Halloween Day. That's fine, but you still need to provide a link to us so that we can see that you have scheduled your story properly. Okay. Um, Now, in order for you to be in the anthology, if you want to be eligible to be in the anthology, you have to either enter the contest or participate in the event. It's the only way you can be eligible. And the reason why I use the word eligible is because not everyone who enters the contest or participates in the event will be uh, given an invitation to be a part of the anthology because we get so many. If we just said everyone who participates and enters the contest, the anthology would be too big. So we do make sure and we do really like zero in on the best stories. And so you have to get invited. And the only way to get invited is again to enter the contest or participate in the event. You have 15 days to do it. So I hope that you've been writing your stories. There will be another reminder that will go out literally every week as we get closer and closer to this until we close it down. There will be a live stream on Halloween Day. The time is tentative. It's probably going to be 10 a.m. Eastern. It might be later on in the day on that day. I don't know yet. But it will be on Halloween Day, Friday. I will go live. I will announce the winner. I'll talk a little bit about the other stories. And I may or may not be joined by the judges. Who the judges are, I will not tell you until literally the night before. I think I'm going to kind of do a surprise post and let you know who those judges are, but just so that um, you don't know who they are or they don't get harassed by people entering the contest. I like to keep that a secret. So keep it under wraps. I'm not even going to tell you how many judges there are, just that there are judges and they are reading the entries. They actually will start reading the entries today, just to get a handle on it, depending on how many we get. I don't want them to have like 2 weeks to read a bunch. Okay, so the next thing that is happening this month, today kicks off Pentober 2025. This is something that I created many years ago, and I try to keep up with it every year in the hopes that one day it will be this big sensation. It is similar to Inktober. Inktober is for illustrators, Pentober is for storytellers. And the concept is very similar to Inktober in that this is asking you to step away from your from your technology, and literally use pen and paper to handwrite your story. Then you take a picture of it and you share it on social media. What social media you choose to share your story is up to you. The 31 words for the prompts went out earlier this week. I think on Monday was when I shared it. And so you just take that word, you use it as inspiration to write a short story, a vignette, which is basically just a scene from a larger story if you want, or a drabble, which is also known as a 100-word story, where you write a story that's exactly 100 words, no more, no less. And again, you handwrite it, take a picture of it, share it. If you share it on Substack Notes, we ask that you at mention TIFF Press, TIFPRESS. That is our main account. If you do that, then we will be able to see it. And we will, every week, we will gather up the images of people's stories, and we will put them in a roundup post that we will share. We are using Substack Chat for this, that feature, where you should be able to share the picture in that chat thread that just went up today for day one. We're going to do that for the next 31 days. Every morning, I will get up and I will share what the word of the day is. And then if you reply there, you should be able to reply with the image of your story. Again, if you do it there, or if you go to Substack Notes to share your story, make sure you tag us with at TIFF Press, TIFPRESS, so that we can see it, log it, and then include you in our weekly roundup, which we'll probably do either every Sunday or Monday for the next several weeks in October. Um, okay, so that's what's happening in October. Now let's look at November. And just a reminder that because there are a lot of events happening and a lot of reminder emails that I will be sending out, typically on a Monday, I am shifting when the weekly emails go out. They typically go out on Monday. I'm shifting them to Tuesday just because I don't want to send out multiple emails in the same day. So to give you a little breathing room, Mondays, make sure you opt in to TIFF notifications to get notified about what's happening, especially if you're in the fiction writing community. You will want to get those emails, to get those reminders, and then look for my usual Monday email that goes out to the entire email list, which gives you the featured stories for the week, to be on Tuesday, at least through the end of the year. Again, just so that I'm not sending out 2 emails every week, every Monday. Okay, so November, so excited. We are doing a TIFF Day of Thanks. So if you're like me, you have read many fiction stories, discovered many fiction writers who you really love their work. Uh, the idea behind a TIFF Day of Thanks is for you and me to write a little note to every, um, if you want, to every fiction writer specifically, or that writer's specific story, to say just how much you loved it, you liked it, you appreciated it because it made you laugh, it made you cry, it made you turn on the lights because you were so terrified after you finished reading their story. You can write as many notes as you want. I will have a form. Everything is a form, right? It just helps me keep things organized. So on November 17th, for 5 days, there will be a form that will open up. You can go in there. You can, again, You can enter as many times, write as many notes as you want. You can be anonymous. So if you don't want to put yourself out there as much, and you're still a little nervous about it, but you want to say thank you, and you could do it to the broader community, just to just the entire, fiction community. The forum will have the ability for you to say, specific, either specifically for a story, for a writer, for the community. You can be anonymous if you want, or you can be public. And then on Monday, November 24th, I will do a live stream like this, and I will read them out loud. Depending on how many I get, I may just pick some, or if I don't get that many and my voice doesn't give out on me, I will read them all. And so, mark your calendars. I don't know what time of day that will be. I will let you know. But mark your calendars for a day of warm and fuzzies. Get your hot cocoa, get your blanket, get your tissues in case some of these are really emotional and make you cry or in any way. But yeah, so a day of thanks, a Top in Fiction Day of Thanks. I'm really excited. I hope that all of you will have a lovely note to share and that you will fill out this form so that it will be a really awesome day to give thanks to the fiction community, because you guys deserve it to either give thanks to each other or to receive that thanks from someone else. Um, Okay, so something else that's happening in November is, as you know, November used to be the month that many writers refer to as NaNoWriMo. So that is the national, or that was the national novel writing month. So the concept behind that was 30 days to write 50,000 words. Due to some drama and things like that that I won't get into, last year was the last year. This year there is no NaNoWriMo, which is kind of crazy to go to that website and see that it no longer exists. And NaNoWriMo many years ago helped me write my first 50,000 words, helped me realize that there was a community, that I wasn't alone and that I could do it. I haven't had to use NaNoWriMo in a very long time, but that doesn't mean that I don't remember how much it helped me, and I know that it helps others. So, in that vein, I want to kind of replicate the parts that were good about NaNoWriMo, specifically the community part, specifically the writing daily, and having that sense of community and camaraderie. So, in November for 30 days, there will be I'm doing a Novelvember. So it's, November. No, so novel Vember. It's weird, it's odd. I'm trying to come up with a good name for it. But it will be the same concept of 30 days, 50,000 words. I created a very basic, very simple, very bare bones forum over on the TIFF Press website. If you're not aware, we do have a TIFF Press website, and I will get into why we have that in a minute. But it's TIF, F for Frank, TIFPRESS.com. If you go there, you will see, if you're not aware that we have this, we do have that website, and you can enroll or sign up essentially for to get access to the forum. So you have to be a member over on TIFF Press. Yes, I understand. It means creating a whole new sign up, a whole new thing. I know people um, kind of rolled their eyes when I said that I was doing this forum and said that it would be for members only, just because it means creating another thing. Now, you don't have to, go all out on the profile. There is a profile you can create if you want to, where you can put your name, do a banner, fill out all the information about yourself. You can if you want to, you don't have to, but you do have to sign up at least to get access to participate in the forum. I was going to do Pentober there, but the issue with that is there's no real clean and easy way to upload your photo of your story. So that's why in the last second, I decided to do that over on Substack. Notes and Substack Chat, just because there you can upload a picture and it's not as difficult. And while we are on other social platforms, I don't use them. I'm not active, so I didn't want to make it be something where you have to go to Instagram, etc. But for November, and this still gives me about a month to kind of figure out the best way to do this. But every day, essentially, you will be able to go in there, go to the forum, and then update us on your progress, on how many words you've written each day. I'm hoping to maybe do a couple of sprints where I come on live here like this, and kind of do some sprints with you in November. We'll see how that goes. And maybe someone else might want to do a live sprint like this, and take the reins on that day. And if you do, let me know, send me a DM, and we can see how we can figure out something like that in November. So those are two things that are happening in November. So we've got two things happening in October, two things happening in November. Let's talk about December. December is another one where I'm really excited, because I came up with a TIFF Secret Santa plot swap, which sounds cryptic and mysterious. That's because it is. So, what is that? The idea behind that is you come up with a festive holiday story and you write down this plot idea, in about one or two sentences, less than 50 words. There will be more detail on how that will work, but you just come up with an idea. You you enter your idea, and that's how you say that you want to participate in this event. You enter this idea. Again, it's another form. It will open up on November, I wrote this down, um, November 10th. So on November 10th, there will be a form that will open up where you can enter, and say you want to participate in this. And the way that you do that is you have to give me a plot idea. If you don't have a plot idea, you can't enter this, Secret Santa plot swap. So you give me your idea, you enter. It's going to be open for 5 days. So you have 5 days to enter your festive holiday plot idea. It could be a romance idea. It can be a mystery. It can be horror. It can be, you know, speculative fiction, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever your idea is, write it down, your story idea. Now I'm going to take all of those ideas that everyone gave me and I'm going to swap, and everyone is then on November 17th, you will get what your plot story is. So you will then have to take that plot story and write a short story. The word cap, I think, will probably be 3,000. That's where I'm sticking with. I don't quote me on that, but I think that's what the cap is going to be. So it could be as small as 100 words or as big as 3,000. However, you take that plot idea and write your story is your up to you and your decision. Essentially, what will happen is on, December 22nd, I will again come on live, and all of the stories, will go live on that day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on here and I'm going to kind of be like Santa Claus, and I'm going to say, the person who wrote this plot idea, this person wrote it, and essentially that will be like a present to the original, plot creator. They're going to see how their story was reinterpreted into how their plot idea was reinterpreted into a full story. So you will get a present essentially in the form of a story that someone took your plot idea, and this is how what the story that they came up with, and that will be the present to you in this Secret Santa situation. Um, it sounds complicated, but it really isn't. It is. It might. I might be explaining it wrong. I keep trying to rethink how I can frame this so that people don't get confused by it. I hope, I explained it well just now. um, but the idea is just as an example is I come up with a story idea, um, and then it gets swapped, and let's say, Catherine, because you're in the room right now, I'm going to use you as an example. Catherine, you end up getting my plot idea. So you end up getting it, and then you take my two or three sentences plot idea and you write a story. So that on December 22nd, I am then, told that, oh, Catherine's story, used Erica's idea. And so that's my Christmas present. And then Catherine, someone else, will take what your plot idea was. Let's say it's Liz, and she received your plot idea and she wrote a story. And now you get to see how she interpreted your plot, etc. And so everyone's going to get someone else's um, plot idea, and then I will announce who got whose plot idea. You won't know whose it is. You'll just get the plot, obviously, because it's a Secret Santa. So the whole point behind that is you don't know um, who it is until the day. So I will reveal who that is. I will have a big post that will have everyone's um, story and who essentially they wrote that story for based on the plot that they were given. Um, so if you want to participate in that, again, make sure you pay attention to when that notification goes out on November 10th. And then on November 17th, you will get an email from me giving you what your plot is so that you can, and then you have essentially, I think it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks to write something. And you will have to let me know that you have it ready to go and that it's going to go live on the 22nd so that everyone gets a story. So I hope that that becomes something that a lot of people participate in. I am announcing it very early right now, just because I want people to, plan ahead accordingly if this is something you can participate in, and make sure that you're able to write a story and understand that you are going to be given essentially a plot that you should use in writing your story. And someone might give you a plot that's like very sci-fi oriented, but you might write romance. So how you incorporate that and how you do that is essentially the challenge in this one. So it's a challenge, and it's a Secret Santa kind of hopefully fun event that we do. Okay, I've got one more thing, just because I felt like I always like to do the and one more thing, because while these are all things that are happening within 2025, January and February are going to be pretty big months for Top and Fiction. And so I just want to kind of ramp up the excitement and the hype around what's happening in January and what's happening in February. So if this might seem a little early to announce these things, tough, because I'm going to announce them. Um, okay, so there are the biggest thing happening in January, which I announced actually months ago, and I've been talking about it little by little over the last couple of months, is the very first ever TIFF Summit 2026. What is that? It's going to be completely online. It's sort of like a convention. So I'm just using the word summit instead of convention, but it's no different. And it's all going to be done online. It's gonna start on Thursday, January 15th. Now it's gonna start with the TIFF annual recap. I did this last year, or I did this, I should say, January 2025. I'm going to do this again this year, and I realized that the date that I had planned to do the TIFF annual recap was literally the day before I had planned to do the TIFF summit. So I'm just wrapping it all into one 4-day mega event. So the TIFF Summit will start with the TIFF annual recap. And then something else I realized is that I did also this year, but I think I did it in June. But I want to start doing this in January just because it fits, is the TIFF State of the Union. So on the 15th, combined, and kicking off the TIFF Summit will be the annual recap and the State of the Union. And what's great about that is the annual recap is essentially what it sounds like. I'm going to give you all the stats, facts, and figures about how 2025 went. So I'm going to tell you all the numbers, how many submissions we got, how many stories we featured, how many medallions we gave out, just a full, it's just going to be, if you love numbers, if you want to know all the facts about how many horror stories we featured, how many sci-fi different sci-fi writers we got, all those the minutia little details. I love them. I will be sharing them during the annual recap. And I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do the book like I did last year, but I actually did a magazine and I printed it out, um, because I don't know if it's something that people would be interested in having. I will probably show you guys what it looks like in the next couple weeks. Probably next month. I'll grab it. Um, I think I have it here actually. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen this before. I didn't make it purchasable. I just did it for myself. But essentially, it's this. So this was the one from last year, the annual recap 2024. And it's literally like you can see how thick this is, but it essentially took every single um, story, and I did it based on genre. So each genre got several pages that were for everyone that got a medallion. They're all in here, and then I also created these PDFs each week where they were clickable. So it was an actual PDF that you could open on the computer and you could click it and you could see everything. I wasn't sure if this was something that people would be interested in, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make another one. And if I and I think when I did it last year, I made the PDF purchasable as like you could either download it for free or if you wanted to donate, you could pay for it. So I might do the same thing again if people want access. Um, or want this at all, because this year it would be really it would be so much thicker. So printing this would just not be very cost effective. I don't think anyone would want to pay like $30 to get the print copy, but to get the PDF that you could have on your computer, it might be something you want. I don't know. We'll see if I do it again. But I'll definitely do the actual annual recap 2025. I'll do and then the State of the Union is great to do immediately after because the idea behind that is to kind of give you a overview on what 2026 has in store. So I will talk about all the things that I know for sure I would like to have happen in 2026. So we'll start with looking back, we'll end with looking forward. That will be on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be you won't believe what's going to happen on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because I don't think it's ever happened before. And it's a heavy lift that I am planning, but and I think it's going to be 8 hours each day, which when I say that just sounds unbelievable, but I think it's 8 hours each day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every half hour there will be a different fiction writer who will come on live, like I am with you right now, and they will read a story that they have written. It will either be a story that they have already written and released many years ago, recently, whatever the case may be, that they are going to read out loud to you, or it will be an exclusive that story that they will write specifically for the TIFF Summit. Um, I don't know yet what each person's going to pick, but I do know that it's 50 authors, 50 different authors from the fiction community for 3 days, 8 hours each day, are going to come on live and read fiction. So you're going to get so much, and from every genre, every style, everything you could think of. I do know that it will most likely be short stories, so it won't be a serial or serialized fiction just because I don't want it to be that they read like a chapter from a story that's not the most current thing. So it will likely they will all be short stories. There might be some poetry in there. Um, it will be a mix, but it's going to be the biggest event that I think has ever happened for not only Top in Fiction, but the fiction community within Substack and in general. And I love the idea because essentially and initially, when I came up with the idea for a TIFF Summit, it was going to be like every other convention, where it was going to have workshops and, um, you know, conversations, roundtable discussions around world building and character arcs and things like that. And then I say, you know what, that's too much of the same. How can we do something different that's never been done before? What if we scrap all that? You guys already know about world building, character arcs, using Scrivener. I mean, sure, you can go to any old summit and you can get that sort of information and you could pay, oodles and oodles of money and whatever. But what if we did something totally different and we did a summit and it was just reading fiction? What if we just read our work? What if we showed what we've learned, showed how we've grown, and just read our favorite stories? I think that's better. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's something that people that, as far as I know, has never been done before. Sure, there have been conventions and things where there might be one or two moments where an author will come up and they'll read their work, but it's not the entire event. This one is the entire event, all 3 days. That's all you're getting, fiction read to you. The list of the 50 authors and their time slot and everything else will be released, I think, in December. So I'm going to be working. It's getting 50 people and trying to figure out a time slot that works with 50 people who literally live all over the world is not as, it might sound hard and it's even harder to do. So that's still something that's in the works behind the scenes. But trust me, you will get the schedule. Um, for those 3 days soon. So that's gonna be from January 16th, 17th, 18th. Then how are we going to end such an event? Um, I've been teasing this a little bit, but now I'm going to officially say what we're doing and my idea, and hopefully it will happen. Hopefully it will work. Hopefully it'll be as amazing as I see it in my mind. We are going to do the very first TIFF Awards. The Top in Fiction Awards ceremony is going to happen either on the 18th to end the 3-day event, or I'm probably going to do it on the 19th, depending on how exhausted I am. I might need sleep the 18th, and I might do the award show like on the that Monday, the 19th, that day. Um, Still up in the air what day it'll actually happen, but I want to end the entire TIFF summit with an award ceremony. And again, I don't want to be like every award show that happens. I want this to be very unique, very different. So, in the next month or two, I am going to start asking you guys to help me come up with the kind of categories we should have. We are a unique and different bunch. Why not have a unique and different type of categories? I don't just want to do best horror short story. That's too bland and too blasé. I want to be much more different, much more unique. I have a couple of ideas for categories that will happen. So I'm going to be coming to the community to help me come up with the type of award names to give out and also nominations for these awards. So yeah, and in terms of, hopefully having guests come on and maybe, do it real like Oscar style where um someone else will announce what the category is, who the nominees are, and who the winner is, that sort of thing. We'll have voting, the whole bit. Um, People will vote. Some awards will be given out based on popularity. Some awards will be given out based on performance and overall like consistency, stuff like that. So some will be based on numbers, some won't be based on the numbers, all the things, right? So that will be how we end the TIFF summit in January. So January, the mid-January is going to be, I'm probably going to take a week off from work from my actual paying job for how just amazing that is going to be. But we're not ending there. So the last thing I want to leave you with is February. So February is when TIFF Press, which I mentioned earlier, why does TIFF Press exist? It exists because I want the writing community that currently is being lifted up by Top in Fiction to, if they want, take the next step. And the next step for me has always been publishing. And so TIFF Press, by its name, obviously lets you know that the purpose of TIFF Press is to publish. And so our first official um, published anthology, we're in the business of publishing anthologies, um, is going to be on February 13th. That will be its release date. It's only appropriate that it's February 13th because it's the ICU anthology, which we did earlier this year during the Friday the 13th that happened, I believe, in June. So June 13th, Friday the 13th was when we released all of these amazing stories. So February 13th is the date that I am looking to hit and reach to release that. I'm hoping that pre-orders will be available starting in December. If not, definitely pre-orders will open by the TIFF Summit on January 15th. Um, but it will be comprised of about 20, I think the number is 20. I'll have to recheck, but it's 20 or 21 fiction authors, all of which either participated or were entered in the contest. One of which is specifically the winner of that contest, Catherine, who I believe is in the room. She's going to be in that anthology. She's probably going to be the first story in the anthology. Um, so look for us to reveal the cover for the anthology, to reveal the table of contents for that anthology, and then to have pre-orders up to buy the print and or ebook for the anthology coming soon. And again, that's why I stress, going back to the beginning with the inanimate objects, if you want to be in the inanimate objects anthology, which I am hoping to release by October 2026, which again makes sense to do October 2026, you need to either participate in the event or enter the contest. And then hopefully you will be eligible and you will receive an invitation from me um, to be in that anthology, which will probably be the second um, anthology that we do in 2026. It might actually be the third. It depends on how well the the story swap goes for Secret Santa, because I realized that that one might garner some really good stories that might work well together in an actual anthology. I don't know yet because it's going to be a mix of genres and things. So it might work, it might not, depending on how that goes. That will likely be an anthology that we release in 2026 as well. Either way, that's it. That's all I got, guys. Was that an hour? I don't even know if I think I was on for an hour. I might have been. Thank you all for being here and for sticking with me through all these announcements. Hopefully it wasn't too much. I didn't overload your brains on all of that. Again, this live will come out within the next hour or so. I just need to wait for the file to be sent to me by Substack. The email will go out. All of the featured stories that I read this morning will be um, in there. You can get the link to download your medallion if you haven't done so already. And that's it for me for today. You will see me again um, October 31st, actually. Now that I realize it, I will be live October 31st with maybe with the judges for the inanimate objects contest. And then you'll see me again on the first Wednesday in November, which is November 5th. So I will be back October 31st, and then you'll see me again in like 5 days for the next monthly recap, where I will give you regurgitate these announcements likely with more urgency for the November stuff and the December stuff. And then the progress on the January TIFF Summit. If you want to help with behind the scenes stuff for the TIFF Summit, do let me know. As of right now, unfortunately, I do not have any more slots available for actually being a part of the TIFF Summit Voices segment, which is the 3 days where there's going to be 50 people reading their fiction. If there is any slots available, I will definitely let the community know, and you can get on a wait list if you'd like. If someone drops out for whatever reason between now and that time, I will want to be able to fill those slots. But the closer we get to December, anyone who drops out by then, it will be a specific time and date. So if you are on the wait list and you get asked if you are able to participate because someone dropped out, you will likely need to agree to do whatever their time slot was in that time. But as of right now, no one has a time slot yet. So if you want to get on the wait list, you can send me a DM in Substack. I will add you to that wait list, which currently I don't think anyone is on the wait list. I think the people who were moved in to be officially a part of the 50 because there are people who are saying they can't participate for any number of reasons. I mean, it's so far in the future, right? Things come up. People decide they can't do it. So if you can, let me know. Just some of the requirements, just a reminder is you need to be able to have a, smart phone. You need to have the app. You need to be able to come on like I am right now. If you're unable to do those things, then you unfortunately will not be able to participate the way everyone else is going to be participating. So just keep that in mind if you want to be a part of the TIFF summit. But if you have any other skills, organization, Excel spreadsheets, if you're able to do artwork of any kind, whether it's using Canva or illustrating on your own, and you're willing to volunteer uh, um, that to the cause of TIFF Summit, please, please, please let me know. I need all the help and support I can get. So if you know someone who you think might be willing to help, please let me know, let them know, reach out to me. Oh, and before I forget, for the first time, because I've had these in my back pocket for a while and just haven't used them, but this time I said to myself, Erica, use these damn things. So our logo has changed slightly. So if you go to topinfiction.com, if you see our logo anywhere, which is, the circle and the T, which basically looks like a T, an I, and then an F, the way it's been um, designed, you will notice a slight difference because it's Halloween season. So for the next 31 days, that's what the logo is going to look like. Even though if you go to Top in Fiction, the color is different. It's a bit of an orange. So yeah, it's a little different. And I'm going to try to remember to change up our logo based on the season, the event, or the holiday, because I do have a bunch of our logo to match season or whatever. So I missed fall. I had one for fall, but the time has passed, unfortunately, for me to have done that in September. I'll hopefully remember for next September, but I've got something lined up for October. I've got something lined up for Thanksgiving in November, and December for Christmas, and then January for winter. So go take a look at it. Hopefully you like it. It's not a major change. It's a very small, slight alteration to the logo that we will be doing moving forward. And with that, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Go write some stories, write some amazing things, because Top in Fiction is here to share them with the community and to help you grow yours. Till next time, bye.